There's a town in upstate South Carolina that nobody talks about, and it might be the most livable place in the entire region. Most people researching a move to upstate South Carolina start and stop in Greenville. And Greenville is great, but what nobody explains is the towns around it, the smaller, the quieter ones. They're often a better fit exactly for what relocators are looking for, and Inman, South Carolina is on the top of that list. In this video, I'm going to show you what life in Inman actually looks like, why people from New York, New Jersey, California keep landing here, and what the real estate market is doing right now, and who Inman is perfect for. It might not be for, and who it's probably not for. I'm Elizabeth McCarthy. I'm a lifestyle relocation realtor with eXp Realty based right here in upstate South Carolina. I work specifically with people making these intentional moves from these high-cost states. And Inman is a town I bring up in almost every discovery call I have with my clients. And here's why. Here's the thing about Inman that surprises most people, the price point. You can find quality homes in Inman, $300,000 to $450,000 in range, with space, character, and in some cases with land. And it's a town that's less than 30 minutes from downtown Greenville and downtown Spartanburg. If you're coming from a market where $400,000 gets you that 2-bedroom condo, Inman is going to feel like a completely different world. What has changed in the last few years is that Inman has started attracting a new kind of residents, people that did their homework, who lived at Greenville and Spartanburg and said, I want something a little bit different, maybe smaller or quieter, but still close to everything. And the word is definitely getting out. So let's talk real estate, because this is where Inman gets really interesting. The market here has appreciated steadily, but it hasn't been hit with the same frenzy as some of the more marketed upstate South Carolina areas. What that means for buyers is that there is still real value here. You can find new construction and established homes at the right price points that are increasingly hard to find closer to Greenville. I've helped buyers land in Inman who originally thought they'd have to stretch their budget in a more well-known neighborhood, and Inman gave them more home, more outdoor space, and a lifestyle that matched what they were actually moving here for without overextending financially. So who is Inman the right fit for? In my experience, it's people who want that slower pace without sacrificing that convenience. You're close to I-85, close to Greenville, Spartanburg Airport, close to Spartanburg's growing restaurant and art scene, but you can come home to something quiet. You can come home to that town. It's a strong fit for people approaching retirement who want space and calm without being isolated. And it's excellent for those remote workers who value quality of life over proximity to the downtown. And it's genuinely compelling for families who want their kids growing up with a little bit more space and yard to breathe. Who is it not right for? If you want walkable urban energy, rooftop restaurants, and constant activity, Greenville is your destination. Inman is a different lifestyle, and being honest about that fit is exactly what this channel is about. Now let's talk about what it actually looks like to buy here, because the real estate picture in Inman right now is one of the most interesting in the entire upstate. Here's what the actual numbers look like right now. The median home value in Inman in 2026 sits around that $307,000 to $340,000, depending on what data source you're looking at. And both those numbers tell the same story, that it is still genuinely affordable compared to where most of the clients that I have might be relocating from. And here's the part that matters for most buyers right now. The market has expanded. There are currently 400 homes for sale in Inman. that inventory that simply didn't exist at this level a couple of years ago. And that means more options, more time to make those decisions, and more negotiating room than buyers have had in a long time. Days on market are running 40 to 60 days right now. I want to put that in context because if you're coming from a metro market where homes are going 48 hours with multiple offers, no contingencies, 40 to 60 days is completely a different experience. If it means you can actually do your due diligence, you can get those inspections done, and you can think, and it's a buyer-friendly environment. The housing stock itself is worth understanding before you start searching. Inman has a genuine range of homes, older bungalows, those mill homes with a real character, craftsman style houses, ranch houses, and even newer construction communities. The older homes have a more irreplaceable feel, but they need more system updates and more ongoing maintenance. South Carolina's climate means you will want to pay attention to moisture, drainage, pest prevention when you're doing your inspection. The newer builds give you a more turnkey experience, and some of those communities will have HOAs. So review those documents before you fall in love with a specific property. Lot sizes vary significantly in Inman, from smaller in-town lots to larger parcels on the rural edges of town. And if the outdoor space is that priority for you, that is something to filter on early in your search rather than discover it late. If you want to search what is exactly available in right now for your specific budget, I have a home search portal. That link is in the description. There you can see those listings, or you can grab that free relocation guide to get that full Upstate South Carolina picture before you decide. Both links are below, but let's move on and talk about commute and the lifestyle. Let me give you some practical details that people always ask about. So the commute here, it's an average time for Inman residents. Downtown Spartanburg, you're looking at roughly 22 minutes by car. Greenville, more like 35, 37 minutes depending on traffic. But you're close to I-26 and I-85, which means you do have the highway access in both directions. So if you're working remotely, this really does matter less on a daily basis, but it means you're never more than 30 to 40 minutes from everything the region has to offer. Inman is served by Spartanburg School District number 1 and is rated the highest rated districts in the county. Chapman High School and Inman Elementary are the primary schools serving the area. So if you're moving with children or plan to, this can be a real asset for you. For healthcare, residents typically use local clinics for primary care, but drive to Spartanburg or nearby facilities for specialty services. The Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System is about 22 minutes away, which is reasonably proximate to the region. One thing worth knowing, honestly, is Inman is still growing its local entertainment and dining scene, but the Main Street revitalization is real within the last year. It is bringing in so many new businesses. So it's really interesting to watch this revitalization happen and these new business coming forth into the downtown. If you're buying an older home here, some of the most beautiful ones can be those older ones, but you need to budget for those updates. The character is irreplaceable, but South Carolina's humidity and climate mean that maintenance isn't optional. A good inspection and a realistic budget for the first year will protect you. And if you're looking at newer construction communities, read those HOA documents before you fall in love with a specific house for rules, fees, restrictions on things like outbuildings or exterior modifications. These matter for long-term lifestyle fit. They're not deal breakers. They're just information that you want to know before you sign. I want to spend a few minutes being completely honest with you about Inman because this is where I think most real estate content fails people. You get those highlights, those beautiful shots, the enthusiastic pitch, and then you move somewhere and discover the parts that nobody mentioned. So let's start with the roads. Because if you're coming from a place where road quality is assumed, that might catch you off guard. Residents consistently flag pothole issues and surface damage in parts of Inman, and roadside litter is something people mention also. I-85, which is one of the main highway connectors, is actually undergoing a major traffic study right now. A major study in 2026, specifically because congestion has gotten significant enough to require attention. The study covers 35 miles of I-85 through the upstate. It's being addressed, but it's a real issue today, and peak hour commutes to Spartanburg and Greenville are become less predictable than that 22 minutes average suggests. On that real estate side, I told you that median price right now is $307,000 to $340,000. But what I also want you to know is that Inman's prices have risen meaningfully. The clear affordability alternative to Greenville's story that was very easy to tell 2 or 3 years ago is more nuanced now. The value is still real, I do believe that, but you should go in with current expectations and not the expectation that older articles online might set. Prices are up roughly 29% over recent months. That's appreciation that benefits buyers who get it now, but it also means that that window on that deepest value is narrowing quite a bit. If you are drawn to those character homes, those bungalows, those craftsman houses, those mill properties, I want you to go in with a realistic budget for those homes that may need electrical systems, plumbing, HVAC. Older homes often need meaningful investment in the first few years. And South Carolina's humidity is not gentle. Moisture damage, termite exposure are genuine concerns that require active attention, not just a one-time deal. So let's talk about the climate a little bit. Upstate South Carolina does have those 4 real seasons. It's generally true, and it's one of the things people love the most about this region coming from the Northeast. But when summer is here, it is humid. If you're coming from the Southwest or from a dry climate somewhere else, the summer adjustment is real. And with that humidity comes pests, mosquitoes, and the same conditions that make termite vigilance important for your home extend to outdoor life in the warmer months. Most people do adapt, but I'd rather you know than be caught off guard in July. So let's wrap things up a little bit. If you need daily walkable urban energy, rooftop bars, coffee shop on every corner, constant activity, Inman really isn't a good fit for you. Greenville's downtown is 37 minutes away and is genuinely excellent, but Inman itself is a town. The distinction is everything. And it should be the first question you ask, not the last. But if what I've described today resonates, if the pace, the community, the outdoor access, and the value proposition feels like what you've been searching for, then I think you already know what I'm about to say. Inman is one of those places that rewards the people who find it. If you want help figuring out whether it's the right fit for your specific lifestyle and budget, let's book that free relocation discovery call. And we start with your vision, not just the listings. The link is in the description below. I'm Elizabeth McCarthy. I am the relocation specialist in the Upstate South Carolina, brokered by eXp Realty. Drop a comment below and let me know how I can help. Can't wait to see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.